I'm going to try to get through this without crying. I know a lot of you know the story of when my dad met my mom. She had me, I believe I was 2, and my sister was 1. And I look back to how young he was when he met her, and she had 2 children already with her. And he took us into his care. He was our dad. When I was 13, he adopted me and my sister, and I'm eternally thankful for that. So as he's been sick and struggling with cancer since he was diagnosed in October, I really find that it's fitting that to show my gratitude and my thankfulness for everything that he has done for me and my brother and my sister, that taking care of him in the hospital was the least that I could do. And I know that when family came to visit him, whether it was there or at home, he really appreciated that. We always saw that his mood would change from being down to happy. And so I'm holding on to that. I'm holding on to those memories because I know that he's no longer suffering. He was suffering this last week, and now he's not. So I just leave with that. And when my dad passed away, my family wasn't with me, and I really needed my family. Prior to that, my brother Billy stepped up, and I'm thankful for the support that he offered, because Cliff is my rock, and he was not there. So, Billy, I want to say thank you for that. Love you, too. And then I went home with Tina, who really wanted to be there, but she couldn't. And she's struggling with her own fight with what she's dealing with. So I went home with Tina, and I sat with her. We consoled each other. And then at night, I went and sat by myself. And I sobbed like I've never sobbed before. But I was also thankful that he's no longer suffering. My sister came in and sat with me, and Gabriel came in and sat with me for a little bit until I felt better. Then I drifted off to sleep. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was a little bit disoriented because I had been in the hospital the last week with Dad. And I wrote this poem when I woke up. At 3 a.m., I wake to sadness. I hear thunder, I see lightning, I peacefully welcome that. My swollen eyes search, but cannot see what they are longing for. My ears faintly hear the sound of machines beeping, and my eyes see the faint glow of the hospital lights. If I listen hard enough, I can hear him tell me he is no longer in pain, he is no longer afraid, and that he loves me. I know he is looking down on us all and beaming with pride at what a caring and supportive and loving family he made. Today is a new day, one with many decisions to be made. I know he will continue to guide us to do the right things. Until we meet again, Dad.
Grandpa. When I was around 2 years old when Julia, my sister, was being born, he came to Virginia to help take care of me. He drove me to daycare, and I got sick on the way there. The staff wouldn't allow me to be dropped off as I had clearly had vomit all over my outfit, and they thought I was ill. He took me home, cleaned me, and took care of me for the rest of the day, unfortunately. Throughout the years, you continued to take care of me. You taught me how to tie my shoes, how to whistle. You taught me how to sled down a hill on a toboggan when I came to visit for the winters. You taught me how to use a tractor when I came to visit for the summers. We would pick blackberries on top of the hill, and I would eat more than half the basket before we'd make it back down to the house. You taught me how to swim and eventually jump off the diving board. Didn't have to use my floaties anymore. You taught me how to play pool, and I enjoyed it even though you whooped my butt every single time we played. By the time I was 5, you taught me how to play Texas Hold'em. I would stay up late with you and sit on the bed while you would play on the computer and show me what was happening. You taught me how to enjoy the company of dogs. You taught me that donuts were an acceptable breakfast food because of all the eggs and flour. It's healthy. You taught me about your favorite sports, and we would watch them while lying in your recliner together. Every birthday or holiday, I got to hear your voice and see your handwriting in a card. You are my one and only grandpa. I love you and miss you. You will live on, though, through those you have influenced throughout your lifetime. You will never truly be gone, and I hope we find peace in that. Thank you for being you, Grandpa.
I'll tell you a story about one of the first conversations I ever had with Bill. Some people that know me have probably heard this before, but when I first met Lisa, she wasn't quite 16 yet, and Bill had some pretty strict rules about people dating his daughters, and she was the oldest one, so he was a little bit more protective. So his strict rule was no dating until you're at least 16. She wasn't quite 16 yet, so we may have snuck around a little bit before that, but when she finally did turn 16, I went to the house, and it had to be, he was old-fashioned about the stuff, so I had to show up. Lisa said, you need to come inside, you need to talk to my dad and everything. I really hadn't met him before. And of course, I'm 17 years old. Bill's huge. And he says to me, he actually took me outside and took me out around the garage where nobody else could hear and nobody could see us. I'll never forget what he said to me. He said, I'm going to let you, again, I'm 17, it's Bill. And he says to me, I'm going to let you take my daughter out on a date. You have to have her back by 10 o'clock. And he told me, if you do anything to hurt her, I will spend $1,000 to have your penis cut off. I'm telling you, he said those words. He told me that. And that's how protective and how much he cared about his daughter. And so now Lisa has been my wife for 27 years. And we waited for quite a while. I think we dated for 8 years before we ever got married. So it's been a long time. And hopefully I've never hurt her enough because I made it by. All right? So, try to lighten the mood a little bit.
Sounds like someone put the fear of God in you.
Hi. I wrote a poem for my pop-up. That's what me and my brother Gabe called him. It's called This Is Not Goodbye. As I lay my head down to go to sleep, thoughts of you are on repeat. Your smile lights up in my mind, and I know that this is not goodbye. God has taken you up above, where you're watching over the ones that you love. So when I hear your voice in my head, there's no sadness, there's peace instead. To celebrate life and all its good times, the memories, the laughs, the hugs, the cries. One day I'll see you yet again, and tell you how things have been. We'll laugh like we did when you were here, and pain will be nowhere near. In this I find a peace of mind. I know that this is not goodbye.
So I wrote this poem. While coming to the end of life, I prayed to God to take your strife, with blessings from him above to fill your heart with peace and love, allowing us to question why and give us time to say goodbye. To feel that from one and all, to feel the love from one and all, with special memories to recall. Things that mattered, we got them done, with tears, laughter, and fun. Dinners, movies, puzzles, and games. Win or lose, it's all the same. The bigger prize, what really matters, his legacy of son and daughters. They touch our hearts, fill us with love. For that we're thankful to God above. As we watch their families grow, he'll be with them, as we all know, in the things they do and the things they think, through all decisions and the kinks. What would Papa think or Pop-Pop think or say? We should consider it his way. To him, we each a special gift, who gave him reason to uplift. Linda, who was with him at the end to represent us and be his friend, to show her love and still be strong, to help those who were there, to carry on. Cindy, broken-hearted, but will be mended, so chaotic, so upended. All the hurts they melt away, left with memories that will stay. All the moments, discussions, fun, won't be forgotten, not a one. Nikki, Hours of talks along the way, ice cream and laughter, a place to stay. All that time will never perish. So many memories, so much to cherish. Jeff, for 3 hours one day of one-on-one, old reminders of times of fun, movies made in younger days, brothers work in their crazy ways. Just call on me and I'll be there. More family times that we can share. Greg. Worked and played until the end. A special bond, brother, friend. They laughed a lot but got things done, and all the while they were having fun. Knowing stairs lead to above, their parting times were filled with love. Doug. Many visits, texts, and calls, with memories shared about all. Always with jokes to brighten the day, to keep Bill going while he's away. Talks of life's roads and choices, the sharing of these with all our voices. Gary. In remembrance of Gary, the stone we had set. A visible sign so we won't forget. With a sibling at peace to have this done, a positive force on us each one. At the end, we have our thoughts, but we are also happy for the time we got to make our memories and to share our love. Now wings are clipped, fly like a dove. He touched our hearts and we touched his. It was easy to do because he was our brother and he wasn't heavy.